Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome for today's continuous discussion on chapter 26, Nectar of Devotion. So today's title is Stimulation for Ecstatic Love. So yesterday we had a fantastic discussion on these, what they call the devotees of Krishna, how glorious they are, how wonderful, and they have all the 55 qualities, just like the demigods. The devotees have the traits and all these kind of things we have read. And of course, I believe that all of you had a very good feeling after that discussion. And after now we understand, okay, first in second wave, second Southern Ocean. So we started off with the 64 qualities of Krishna. All right. Then after that, the further qualities of Krishna. Okay. Then establishing Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. We quoted from Brahma Sanghita that even a portion of the portion, plenary portion of the portion. So Krishna is the main, is the source of all creation. Iti chamsa kala pumsa, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. It's from Srimad Bhagavatam. Even there's a portion, even there's a plenary portion of the portion, but Krishna is the original supreme personality of Godhead. So we understood that. Then after that, we discussed on the devotees of Krishna. Without the mercy of devotee of Krishna, it is not possible for us to come into this what they call this understanding. Okay, so and we also discussed on how glorified the devotees of Krishna is. Okay, then why we need to know that? Because we are why in this nectar of devotion they want to establish Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead, because you can achieve prema only by worship of Krishna. You can go up to bhava in all the Vishnu tattvas, but prema or the devotee. Okay, and we also studied about most perfect and most perfect. What is the term, sir? Most perfect, really perfect and perfect, is it?
Very perfect, has perfect.
Sorry?
Most perfect, very perfect.
Most perfect, very perfect, and perfect. All right. So the most perfect is in the mood of Vrindavan. Okay, and the mood of Vrindavan, who stays there? Govinda with his flutes, or Murari, Krishna Murari with his flute. All right. So that is the most perfect. All right. Now, after understanding all this, now what is the next thing? How to stimulate the stimulation. Okay, the stimulation for ecstatic love is something that we're going to do it today. It's going to be a very interesting topic. All right. Now, we will start with invocation. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manopistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttaparakamlam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagrajadam Shahagana Raghunathanvyam Tam Sajivam Sarpaitam Savadutta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vidam Cha. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते ताप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तरी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठभूतले श्रीमती जयपताका स्वामी नाम्नि नामाचार्य पदाय निताय कृपा प्रदायिने गौरकद दामदाय नगर ग्रामतारिणी नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठभूतले श्रीमती भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नाम्नि नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पासाचरितारिणी नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठभूतले श्रीमती भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती नामिने श्री वर्षपना विरहित कृपाब्दये कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञानदायिने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योज्वल प्रेमादि श्री रूपनुग भक्तिर श्री गौर करुणा शक्ति विग्रहाय नमस्ते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्री मूर्तये दीनतारिणे रूपानुग विरुदा पसिद्धांत द्वांत हरिणे नमो गौर किशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्य मूर्तये विप्रलंब रसंबोधे पादांबुजायते नमः नमो भक्ति विनोदाय सच्चिदानंद नामिने गौर शक्ति स्वरूपाय रूपनुग वरायते गौरवीर्भव भूमेस्तुम निटस सचिन प्रिय वैष्णव स्वरूपमा श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वंच कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरु दीनतारणं परमानंद माधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरं जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव शरि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hari Om Tat Sat. Okay, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So let's continue our discussion on Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. All right, so today we're going to continuation on the 26th stimulation of ecstatic love. Is going to be very interesting topic here. All right, so let's start our discussion today. Ata uddipana stute prokta bhavam uddipayanti te payanti ye te tu Sri Krishna Chandrasya gunaschesta prasadanam smitangas saurabe vangsa shringanupurakam bhava padanka kshetra tulasi bhakta tat vasaradaya. Okay, quoting from Southern Ocean, first wave, text 301 and 302. So now some things which gives impetus or stimulation. Okay, some things which gives impetus or stimulation to ecstatic love for Krishna are his transcendental qualities, his uncommon activities, his smiling features, his apparel, garlands, flute, his buffalo horn, his leg bell, his conch shell, his footprints, his place of pastime such as Vrindavan, his favorite plant, Tulasi, his devotee, and the periodical occasion of remembering him. One such occasion for remembrance is Egadasi. Okay, one such occasion is called Egadasi, which comes twice a month on the 11th day of the moon, both waning and waxing. On that day, all the devotees remain fasting throughout the night and continuously chant the glories of the Lord. Okay, very interesting. So now we see here. Okay, now, so now what is Rupa Goswami is mentioning here? All right. So which are the things that gives you impetus or the stimulation? Okay, that can stimulate you in bhakti or stimulate you in ecstatic love for Krishna. The stimulation is very, very important. Stimulation creates motivation to look into it, to dwell into it, to go dive deep into it, and to be one with it. All right, example, right? Sometimes this is the method that usually used by the advertisers, you know, by the advertiser. Like example, like recently there was one advertisement on Magnum ice cream, right? Magnum ice cream. So they show how they take the ice cream, they dip into the chocolate and come out, and this particular beautiful girl take the ice cream and put it into the mouth, and they just zoom into that, and the way she bite it, and the thing crushed and put in, and she closed the eyes. Wow, that stimulates. This is called stimulation, right? So this kind of stimulation, that all that this is. So after my children saw that, they wanted Magnum ice cream, and they were so adamant. Until I need to go to the Magnum, I need to go to the shop, take the Magnum ice cream. I say, read the ingredient. Contain egg. Ayo, cannot forget it. Like that. So all that advertisement is basically to stimulate. All right, stimulation. So when you stimulate means you get excited with it. You want to go deep into it. You want to dive into it. You want to be one of it. You want to, what they call, relish it. So here, the stimulation of devotional service, the stimulation of ecstatic love of devotional service. How? So this is the thing. Please underline in your book. All right. First is his transcendental qualities. The qualities of Krishna. The qualities of Krishna, when you start to see how he's such a great lover, so all the pastimes, it can stimulate. Number two is uncommon activity, right? Like carrying the Govardhan hill. All right. The third is the smiling feature. When Krishna smiles, he attracts everybody. That's why he's known as Madan Mohan, the one who even attracts the Madan or the Cupid. Right? His apparel, that means his dressing is all the paraphernalia. Right? And his garland, his flute, His buffalo horn. He got a horn, buffalo horn. You know, you keep it at the side. You know, just like a conch. All right. His leg bells. What is leg bells? Kulusu. His conch shell. Conch. His footprints. That's why sometimes in Deepavali, they usually like to take the small children, they mark the leg and they let them walk. And they feel that the baby Krishna is walking into the house. They used to make the footprint. If those without a child, they used to use the wrist like this. All right, they take the thing, mark the thing, and they just like chop. Okay, they chop like that to say that Krishna is coming. So the footprints, all right, his places of pastime like Vrindavan. Okay, his favorite plant Tulasi. His devotee can also stimulate. And another thing is periodical occasion for remembering him. What is that periodical occasion? How? Example like Ekadasi. And what is Ekadasi? That comes twice a month on 11th day of the moon. Okay, what is waning and waxing? Teipirai, Valarpirai. Waning means Valarpirai, waxing means Teipirai. That means the time that going towards the full moon and after full moon going to Amavasya. on that period, the 11th day. If you become good by looking at the moon itself, you can identify the Ekadasi is coming. When you see the moon is full, but it's not full, it's coming towards full moon. Then you know, oh, Ekadasi is there. When I check, oh yeah, it's correct. Tomorrow is Ekadasi, day after tomorrow is Ekadasi. Like that, right? So what they do on Ekadasi day, please underline this statement. Devotee remain fasting throughout the night and continuously chant the glories. So on Ekadasi day, usually what we should do, the real practice of Ekadasi, you should stay awake the whole night. But now we only do it on once. That also people are not really doing it. On Vaikunta Ekadasi, they all stay awake the whole night. So the rules of Ekadasi. Tomorrow is Ekadasi. Today you must finish by lunch. Your grains must be over by lunch. Right? Then after lunch, you begin your fasting. And next day, when the Ekadasi comes, your stomach will be empty. Remain fasting the whole day without food, drink, and everything. Then the whole day, what you do? You engage in Krishna bhajan. Because you'll be weak. You cannot go run around. You cannot do this thing. So you remain in one place and do your japa. Then at night, you cannot do japa. Because if you do japa at night, when you're hungry, you fall asleep. So what do? You chant the glories of the Lord. That means you start to speak, you start to do classes on all the pastimes of Krishna. That is what Ekadasi is all about. But of course, it is not possible for now, current days. Srila Prabhupada was so merciful. He gave an opportunity. He said, never mind, remain fasting without grains. Only take fruits and roots. Okay. And chant more rounds. All right. If you're doing 16 rounds, on that day, you do 32 rounds. Of course, here we have Matajis who are doing 64 rounds, especially on Ekadasi days. So that's supposed to be. Okay. And of course, at night you go to bed. Right. But of course, so remain fast. That means these are the things that stimulate. These are the things that stimulate our ecstatic love. So, my dear Prabhus and mothers, what do you take away from this statement? I want to listen from you. 1 or 2%. You can come forward and just tell you, what do you take away? What do you understand from this? Come on, anyone?
Krishna's beauty matched our heart.
Speak up, Mataji, I can't hear you.
Krishna's beauty matched our heart.
No, that is a effect. But now when we talk about the qualities of Krishna, the dress of Krishna, his ankle bell, Tulasi, Ekadasi, all these things can stimulate your ecstatic love. So what do you understand from this? What is while we are discussing this, what strike your mind? Anyone?
I can use this method to attract Krishna.
Okay, you can use this method to attract Krishna. Okay, that thing strike you, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Anyone else? Another one more person? Come on, make it quick. What the thing strike you? The Chinese Mataji? Come on. Anybody? Nothing strike you? Okay. Why you're so afraid? All right. Let's look at this. So, what we can understand from this, my dear Prabhus and mothers, when these some things which give impetus or stimulation, that gives you impetus, what do we understand? These are the things can create stimulation. Are you all following me on this? Very important phrase. Okay. The thing can give impetus. Or, okay, I don't use the word impetus because it's quite confusing here. Let me highlight. There will be some things which give stimulation on ecstatic love of Krishna. So these are the things that can give you stimulation or ecstatic feelings on love of Krishna. What are they? Number one is transcendental qualities. Number two, uncommon activities. Number three, smiling features. All right, we don't go to the three first now. All right, when we look at the first two, where do we get these transcendental qualities and uncommon activities? This stimulation happen when we always engage our mind in Krishna Katha. When we are studying and reading or listening Krishna Katha or discussing all his Krishna's qualities and uncommon activities. So we should always engage our mind in Krishna Katha. Number one. Following me? Yes, put a thumbs up.
Yes, Prabhu.
All right. Okay. Then what is next? The next one is smiling features. Where do you see smiling features? His apparel. That means the dress that he wears. His garlands, his flute, his buffalo horn, his leg bell, his conch shell, his footprints. All right. Where do we see this? When we go and see a deity in the temple. When we go and see deity in the temple, we should not just simply glance upon the deity. You should stare the deity from the lotus feet, not straight to the face. From the lotus feet. Now let's do it consciously from today. Even when you see a photo, all right, a portrait of Krishna, right? All right, so there's a nice photo here. So we start to see from the lotus feet. So what do I see from the lotus feet? First, I see the footprints. How beautiful the lotus feet is colored red. Yeah, is colored red. Then from the lotus feet, I straightly go up to see the ankle bell. How beautiful and how fortunate. Meditate. Then slowly you go up to the conch shell, the buffalo horn. Stare at the flute. How many of us actually, when we see Krishna, we actually look at the flute? Right? Sometimes we just glance upon it. But how many of us have really paid attention to the flute? And his garland. How wonderfully the garland is worn. All right? His dressing and his beautiful smiling face. So we have to be very, very attentive from now onwards. All right? Because these kind of things can be a stimulation to ecstatic love. But now with our conditioned eye, we might not recognize it. It's okay. But just keep seeing it. When you see it, see with in the eyes of knowledge. Look at the feet. Look at the thighs. Look at the hip. Look at the three bending, tribanga. Look at the flute. Look at the lips. Looks like bimba. Look at the lotus eye, pundrikaksham. Look at the turban. Stare at the peacock feather. Wonder which peacock was so fortunate. It shedded the feather, and that feather adorned my beloved Krishna. So these are the things. Don't miss it. All right. Then after that, what else? Second, another place like Vrindavan. If we can't go to Vrindavan, we meditate on Vrindavan. We meditate on the forest where Krishna performed Rasa Leela. We meditate on the what they call we meditate on the what they call Radha Kun, Sham Kun. You know, we meditate on the Govardhan Hill. And how to meditate, how to get the picture? Krishna Katha. Right? The another thing that can create that in every one of a house, Tulasi, his favorite plant, Tulasi. So whenever we see Tulasi, we start to meditate. How fortunate that Tulasi always adorn the lotus feet of Krishna. You know, the Tulasi plant, when you look at Tulasi plant, and of course, when you go into this thing, that's why Vrinda Vana. Vrinda means Tulasi Devi. Vana means place of forest. Vana means forest. You know, that's why we call as Vana Prastha. Retired life means Vana Prastha. Vana means what? Forest. Prastha means dweller. Give up the family, give up everything, with the wife, go to the forest. Right? But after that, the wife cannot take it. I give up, the wife takes it. Yes. No, just joking. Anyway, so that's Vana. Vana means Vrinda Vana. The whole place is full. And you know, and Tulasi Maharani is actually Krishna's confidential secretary. She's the one arrange everything for Krishna. She arranges a place, arranges the meeting of the Tulasi and Krishna. You know, there's a Ashtakala. Ashtakala means every 3 hours there's one muhurta, one time, right? Every 45 minutes one muhurta. So every 4 muhurta is one kala. 1.5 hour. Yeah. So something like that. Every 4 muhurta, one kala. So in Ashtakala, Leela, every 3 hours Krishna do some pastime. So the pastime from 12 midnight to 3 a.m. All right. That's a time where Krishna and when Mother Radha, Srimati Radharani will be having this romantic pastime, amorous pastime. And they will be in great ecstasy. And who set the scene? Set up the bait, set up the environment, set up the flower garland, the scenting the place, preparing everything. It's by Tulasi Maharani. The Tulasi Maharani, that's why Krishna loves Tulasi so much. That's why in Mangala Arati, after 3 a.m., Radha and Krishna prepare to go back. Krishna will go to his house, Radharani will go back to her house. Before the sister-in-law, anybody find out, you know, there's a beautiful pastime, they want to go back. So when they are so excited, at that morning, early in the morning, at around 4:30, 3 to 6 a.m. is the time where they get ready, they get dressed and preparing to leave that place to go back. That's a place that starts Brahma Muhurta. At that moment, Krishna is in great ecstasy. Radharani is in great ecstasy. They are so happy. The absolute transcendental prema is there because they met, they had this amorous pastime and they were so happy. And they are so satisfied. At that morning, you start to worship your spiritual master. Samsara Dava Nalalida Loka Tranaya Karunya Ganat Ganatvam Praptasya Kalyana Gunana Vaishya Vande Guru Sri Charanara Vindam. At that moment, you start to worship your spiritual master. When you start to worship your spiritual master, Srimati Radharani will be very pleased with you. Who wrote this Samsara Dava? Vishwanath Chakravarti. So, I hope it's Vishwanath Chakravarti. I hope I'm not speculating Krishna. Please give me the remembrance. Yeah, I think Vishwanath Chakravarti. He was such a great saint. And all the Brahmanas, they were so much in hatred with him. They all plotted to kill him. They know early in the morning, they know Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur will be walking at this, going through this place. They all set a scene to kill him. So while he was walking, he went into the bush and suddenly disappeared. When he disappeared, when all the Brahmana all came for to kill him, then suddenly they see a very young, beautiful girl there. Right? They see a beautiful girl. And they ask, hey, girl, at these wee hours, around 4, 3, 4, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, what are you doing? No, I'm plucking some flowers from my master, from my Saki. That means plucking flowers for Srimati Radharani. At that time, when they were plucking the flowers and everything, and they were so like dumbfounded, such a beautiful girl. Then suddenly they realized the girl disappeared. And Vishnu Chakravarti came out. And then and everybody of them will fall at his feet. They know that he's not an ordinary person. He's one of the Saki of Radharani. And that's when he start to sing this song. Then after that, when he start to, out of gratefulness, he start to sing this song. Samsara dava nalalida loka. Samsara dava. Tranaya karunya ganat ganatvam. Praptasya kalyana gunana vaishya. Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Vaditra Madhyan Manasora Sena Romanchakampa Shrutarango Bajo Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda. It's all 8 slokas. And after the 8 slokas, the 9th sloka is the Pala Stuti. Pala Stuti means what? Palangal. In Tamil, we call palan. Ida senja enak enna palan. What I get by doing this? What is the benefit? So the 9th, this thing which we don't sing in ISKCON Center. But of course, it's very important. What is it? Srimad Gurur Ashtakam etat uch. Srimad Gurur Ashtakam etat uchair. Brahma muhurte padati prayatnat. Yastena Vrindavananata Sakshat. Vrindavan Nata Sakshat. So he's a Sakshi. That means he's the one that become your witness. Vrindavan Nath. Who is Vrindavan Nath? Sri Krishna himself. Sevaya labhya janu santas eva. So what is the translation of the 9th verse? He says, one who with great care and alteration loudly recite, not in your mouth, loudly recites this beautiful prayer to the spiritual master during Brahma Muhurta, obtains direct service to Krishna, the Lord of Vrindavan, at the time of his death. All right. So now what happened to Vishnu Chakravarti? He saw, then he became the Saki Gopis came. So when we start to sing this song first, early in the morning, it pleases Srimati Radharani. After she pleases Srimati Radharani, what is next thing you're going to do? You're going to worship Tulasi. Vrindaye Tulasi Devyaye Priyaye Keshavaye Cha Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavataye Namo Namah. Remember, Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi, not Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi. All right? It's a mistake. In that song, some people say Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi. No, it's Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi. All right? So, Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavataye Namo Namaha. Namo Namah. Tulasi Krishna Prayasi Namo Nama. You worshipping, you're glorifying Tulasi Maharani. And Krishna is so pleased after the amorous pastime. And he's so grateful to Tulasi Maharani. And in that moment when Tulasi Maharani was so pleased, and you start to worship Tulasi Maharani in Mangalarati. Wow! Krishna will give you all. You are worshipping my Tulasi Maharani. And he's give you everything. If you think your life is suck, if you think your life is screwed up, the one and only option you have, the one and only parigaram or atonement, if you perform Mangalarati every day wholeheartedly, sing that Guru Astaka, sing that Tulasi Vrindavan, they call it Tulasi, worship Tulasi Maharani early in the morning, you start to see how your life will transform. Even if you think you can't do that worship, you are not this thing, at least mentally, in your mind, sing the song and meditate. Now you're offering You're inviting the deities. Please come. You're worshipping the Tulasi. Parikram, every step that you take around Tulasi, every one step destroys your big sin. Huge sin is destroyed in every step. So what is stopping you in life? What is the stumbling block in your life? Your stumbling block is your sin, your bad karma. This is not allowing you to go further. You have so much of baggage with you. How are you going to run? You can't even walk. So heavy. So every step in Tulasi, this thing, Parikram, your biggest sin is getting destroyed. So why 3 rounds? Why not 9 rounds? Why not 18 rounds? Why not 51 rounds? Why not 108 rounds around Tulasi Maharani while you're chanting your japa? Why not? Because you know every step. When we do consciously, through the understanding, you see huge difference. So this is how morning. So Tulasi, actually, when you start to meditate on Tulasi Maharani, you also can get that ecstatic feeling beyond the word can say. I saw just now somebody raised the hand. Saki Mataji, did you raise the hand?
Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, how do you keep your Tulasi? Do you have to have the stand, brother, Tulasi stand?
Well, I have a Tulasi Madam. I have a Tulasi Madam. And I've got a stand that I bring it inside my house and do the worship.
But supposing you change houses and all that, if you don't have a stand, what do you do, Prabhu?
Just put it on the ground, Prabhu. Simple as that.
On a stool?
Yeah, why not?
Do you have to have the sari and all that?
No, I don't have saris.
Okay. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Because in the temple, of course, it's a place of worship where many people are coming. They decorate with sari. But of course, in my house, I don't have a sari for Tulasi Maharani.
Thank you.
The most important is our meditation. Okay. How this Tulasi Maharani has done a great favor to Krishna. When I worship that Tulasi Maharani, begging her mercy, my dear Tulasi Maharani, please be merciful towards me. The feminine feature in a human being, they are more merciful than a manly feature. Mothers are very, very merciful. Worship that Mother Tulasi. When you worship your Guru, Radharani is pleased. When you worship Tulasi, Krishna is pleased. And your day will be beautiful. Saki Mataji, did you raise your hand just now?
Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Saswata Prabhu.
Prabhu, the question is, Krishna Bhakti Padidevi Pativedyo Namo Nama. Why Prabhu must be mentioned Vishnu Bhakti? What is
That's the origin.
Prabhu? Because just now you're saying that when you pay respectful obeisances to the Tulsi Maharani, Krishna will be happy.
Yeah.
But when we glorifying about this Tulsi Maharani, about regarding this mantra, we mentioned the Vishnu, not Krishna. Why Prabhu?
Okay, first of all, that's the original mantra. Originally, its mantra is Vishnu Prade Devi Satyavatai Namo Namaha. Vrindaya Tulsi Priya Kesavecha Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi. Why? Vishnu means it is a general term of all Vishnu. Vishnu means all pervading. So it's a general term. General term. That means that Tulasi Maharani serves not only Krishna, but all Vishnu Tattvas. Like Narayana, Narasingha, Ramachandra. Okay. So she serves everyone. So
Yeah,
Vishnu
Prabhu.
Vishnu means all pervading. That is including Krishna. So that is
அதுதான் பிரபு எனக்கு சின்ன டவுட் ரொம்ப நாளா இருக்கு சோ இப்போ கிருஷ்ணானா இஸ் இன்க்ளூடிங் ஆல் திஸ் avatar also,
so
right?
the
That
word
is
Krishna,
ultimately,
the
right?
translation. Yeah, understand. The translation was created by Achyutananda Swami.
Okay.
When Achyutananda Swami was translating everything to this thing, he put it as Krishna Bhakti. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not wrong. It is not wrong. But the original mantra is Vishnu Bhakti. Because
Okay.
Vishnu means it's not Vishnu we are talking about, Narayana. We are not talking about Vishnu. Vishnu means all pervading, that everything. Vishnu means all pervading. And the original Vishnu is Krishna. There's one verse I forgot. The origin of all Vishnus. Krishna. What is that mantra? Krishna. It's in Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah, I can't recall.
Yeah,
So
okay, sure, okay.
the origin of Vishnu is Krishna. All right. So
Okay.
here the mantra is Vishnu Devi Prade, Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi, because that is the original. If you see all the temples everywhere, they use only ISKCON, they use Krishna, which is also, they say, no, you change it back to Vishnu. So the old songbook was translated by Achyutananda Swami, now he's Prabhu. So he translated into Krishna, Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi, Satyavatayi Namo Namaha. And there's no fault in that. No fault. But the original mantra is Vishnu Bhakti. Okay. All right. Okay. So
Prabhu,
when we,
one thing, Prabhu.
sorry.
How come you know all this, Prabhu?
By the grace of my spiritual master, by the grace of my Siksha Gurus, by the grace of Krishna, I also don't know how I know.
But this Achananda Prabhu changed the name and all that. I don't know. Where do you find all this, Prabhu?
Because I'm through my mentor, Pran Govinda Prabhu.
Hare
Of course, a lot of good question. But anyway, I also don't know sometimes. All right. So now we understand how Tulasi can create stimulation. All right. And what is the next thing that's going to create stimulation? The devotees. Sometimes when we see a spiritual master coming, all right, say like recently when Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, when he came, everybody got stimulated, everybody got ecstatic, everybody was so excited. All right. Those devotees who are not even active suddenly became active. Those devotees who are like diverted, they became back to align. So the devotees, sometimes when we see some devotees like the visiting devotees to Malaysia, right, like Narsinga Maharaj, when Narsinga Maharaj comes, it stimulates the environment. Everybody get excited, you know. And Jagadananda Prabhu, all right, recently he came. It creates so much of ecstatic feeling. Now, you know, Sarvanya Goranga Maharaj, who came recently from South Africa. You know, his humbleness, his soft-spoken, his ecstatic stimulates. So his devotees, next he stimulates. All right. And of course, the next is periodical occasion like Ekadasi. Ekadasi. So when Ekadasi comes, from now onwards, how we should practice Ekadasi Vrata is the day that you should always think about is okay, what are the things that you should do on Ekadasi Vrata? So on Ekadasi Vrata, we think about his transcendental qualities, his uncommon activities, his smiling features, his apparel, his garland, his flute, buffalo horn, like that. You start to meditate in all that. Because on Ekadasi day, usually you'll be tired. Your body is tired. Your stomach is grumbling. Your tongue become hardened. Your tongue will become numb. The only thing active is in your mind. So don't engage your mind thinking what to eat now. You know, oh my God, I forgot to buy what they call what is it? Cucumber. This happened last August. All this I'm saying from my own experience. Oh my God, forgot to buy cucumber. Alamak. Okay, there's a shop nearby. Go there, no cucumber. I have to go to Econ Safe so far away. I have to go. I am hungry. Call my wife. Can you make the rojakwa? You know, we have rojak for Ekadasi. She said, there's no groundnut. I say, if I buy groundnut, can you do? Look here, I have to take the ground out. I have to like burn it. I have to like peel off the skin, crush it. Leche lah. Yeah, just eat lah, whatever is available. I'm sure. She did prasadam. All right. What? Mashed potato. Lama. Mashed potato. Cannot, you know. So don't engage your mind thinking what to eat. At that moment, engage your mind on what Krishna's pastime. You know why? Because I wrote that in my journal. That's what I'm telling you. At that moment of death, when your whole body becomes disabled, your leg can't walk, will become frozen. Your hand will become frozen. Okay. Your mouth, your tongue, you can't even speak. Or your eyes can see but cannot see. The only thing that active is your ears and your mind. All right. That's why when people are passing away, go and chant Hare Krishna to the ears. The ears. That's why even Lord Shiva also guarantees in Padma Purana. When my devotee fall down from the position and dying in forgetfulness, I will go to him and chant the holy name to give him remembrance. Lord Shiva gives you the guarantee. All right. Like that. So that means yes. All your organs, external organs, only the ear will be functioning until the last moment. That's why when you go and see people who are dying, don't go there, howl, scream, cry, create more pain. They are already in great pain. Don't create more pain. Right? Just go there, stay sober and chant Hare Krishna. And after the body dies, then you can scream and cry. Not while they're dying. Then, after that, the only thing active is your mind. So now itself, we have to train our mind. When we are hungry, when our mind goes straight to the stomach, when meditate on what to eat, that's the time we should meditate about Krishna. And what we should meditate? The qualities, uncommon activities, smiling features, his body. So how you can remember that if you don't even stare at them? So when we go to the deities, even when you go and worship, even that, like I told, when you offer your ghee lamp to Lord Damodara, don't see me 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, put Namam Ishwaram Sachit Ananda Rupam. No, that's not the way. When you offer to the lake, look at the lotus feet. Look at the navel, the rope that binds. Look at the face, the fearful face. Stare at everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stare at them. Drink the nectar through the eyes. So from now onwards, we hope that we can practice this. All right? Because this thing can create stimulation. At that moment of when the body becomes disabled, when the mind is active, that's when you can absorb the mind in all the pastimes of the Lord. If not, even if you have a drop of any other attachment or thought, you have to come back again just to fulfill that. At the time of death, you think about roti canai, finish. You have to be born again just to eat roti canai. What a waste. So we have to train. That's why I say this Nectar of Devotion is the book that we should not neglect. It's very powerful. All right. So the Tulsi plant, right? So that means then every day, every morning and evening, Tulsi plant. We make Tulsi as our thing. Whenever you leave the house, take permission from Tulsi Maharani. Fall at the Tulsi Maharani says, my dear Tulsi Maharani, I'm going out. I hope everything will be very auspicious for me. Then once you come back, right, bow down to Tulsi, go around 3 times, 2 times, 3 times, at least 4 times minimum, and pray to Tulsi Maharani. Okay, I'm back. I hope that whatever things that I've done, please forgive me. And now I'm going back into the house. All right, please bring back the memory of Krishna. So always think like that. The devotees and Egadasi, all right, and like that. So these are the things that can stimulate our devotional service, that can create an ecstatic feeling. So far, any questions on this? Practical or not? Is this practical? My dear devotees?
Yes, Prabhu, very
Yes,
practical.
Prabhu, yes.
Yes. If not, if you really see the culture that we should practice, the Brahmanical culture that we should practice, it is terrible. It's not possible unless the person born in a Brahmana family trained in that system from young. The father must be a Brahmana to train the son as a Brahmana. If not, you know how? When you all take prasadam, when you take the prasadam, we straight away wallop. Yes or not? We thank Krishna, we thank everything, and we sing that, oh, my wicked tongue, you are so wicked. And I'm so grateful to Krishna for giving his remnants so that I can subdue you, wicked tongue, so that you can chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and not asking anything else. Like that, then we start to honor prasadam. But what is the real way of honoring prasadam? They will come and put the plate, they will prepare the leaf and they put it nicely. You have to sit very calmly, Then you take achaman and do the achaman, chant some mantra. You take one morsel of rice, you put it at the side. Then you take something and put it. There's a mantra. Then you start to eat. You start to honor prasadam. Then you wake up in the morning, you do achaman. Every day you do achaman. Oh my God, it's not practical. So that's why Prabhupada gave the most simplest, sublime method. Chant Hare Krishna, listen to Harikatha, that's all. And stay at Krishna and you get stimulated. If not, the other practice are very, very tough practice. Only pujaris. If you think you are a pujari, you have to follow. Tuck, 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 tick, 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 like that. Then you have to do something, you have to do this, they have to do all this kind of, some kind of things to activate some chakras. And this, they take these, I don't know, they put here on the eyes, put on the nose, put on the ears, put on the stomach, this thing back, they do all this stuff, purify the whole body, and they take achaman. Oh my God. Come on, simply chant Hare Krishna and go back home, back to Godhead. We do not need to go into this. I mean, with due respect, I'm just saying my own opinion. Rather, I chant Hare Krishna, study Krishna's book, Krishna Katha. That should be enough. Being a lazy fella. All right. Okay. So it's very practical. Tatra guna. Gunastu trivada. Prokta kayavan. Manasa shrayaha. Krishna's transcendental qualities. Now we're going to discuss one by one of what we have read up there. Okay. So the Krishna's transcendental qualities, his uncommon activities, his smile. All right. Okay. Now, okay. As far as Krishna's transcendental qualities are concerned, they can be divided into 3 groups. All right. It's divided into 3 groups. So what are the groups that is divided? Number 1, qualities pertaining to his transcendental body, on his body, qualities pertaining to his transcendental speech, and qualities pertaining to his transcendental mind. All right. So Krishna's transcendental qualities and uncommon activities divided into 3. That is, number 1, his speech. That means like how he spoke in Bhagavad Gita, is pertaining to his body and also his mind. Tatra kayika, vaya saundarya, rupani, kayi kamdrutta dayaha. So now we're going to talk about vaya saundarya rupani. Saundarya rupani. Saundarya means what? Transcendental. Rupa means body. Even in Malay also we call rupa, right? Then your rupa macam mana? Macam mana rupa dia? Rupa means the form. All right. In Tamil also we call rupa. All right. So saundarya rupani. Okay. Now we see what is that. So Krishna's age, his transcendental body feature, his beauty, his mildness are qualities pertaining to his body. All right. Vaya saundarya rupani kai kam druttadataya. That means Krishna's age. Vaya. Vaya means what? Vayasu. In Tamil we call Vayasu. Vayaha. Saundarya rupani is transcendental bodily features. Kaika, beauty, mildness, qualities. All these linked to his body. Gunasvarupam evasya kai kadya yadapyami vedam svitkritya varnyanti tatapyu dippana. Uddipana. Right? That's the word uddipana. Tatapyu uddipana iti. Okay, now. So there is no difference. There is no difference between Krishna and his body. Okay. So that's what it's called Svarupam. There's no difference. And therefore, the transcendental features pertaining to his body are the same as Krishna himself. Okay, all the features and he are same. Because of these qualities stimulate. Because of these qualities stimulate. Please underline the word. Because these qualities stimulate. What are the things stimulate? The body, the features, and all these things stimulate you. All right, stimulate the devotees' ecstatic love. Therefore, they have been analyzed in a separate cause of that love. So they have been analyzed as separate cause of that love. To be attracted to the qualities, that means to be attracted to the qualities of Krishna means to be attracted to Krishna himself. Okay? When we are attracted to the qualities of Krishna, that means we are attracted to Krishna. Even the haters. Krishna is a playboy. Krishna enjoy himself with his things. So the mind, they have a perverted mind. Saying Krishna is playboy. But what? That means there is attraction to Krishna. That means to attract to his quality is also equal to attract to his, to he himself. Because there is no real distinction. There is no real distinction between Krishna and his qualities. There's no difference. You can't find anything. Krishna's name Right? Now let's look at the next one. Krishna's name also Krishna. Krishna's name is also Krishna himself. Krishna's fame is also Krishna. Krishna's entourage is also Krishna. What do you mean by entourage? What is evidence? Remember studying this? Krishna's entourage? Can anyone tell me? Any example? Anyone?
Entourage என்ன பிரபு?
Entourageனா அவர் கூட வந்த அந்த கூட்டம். இப்போ ஒரு அரசன் போறாரு.
திருப்பி இந்த क्वेश्चन கேளுங்க பிரபு.
So what does it mean? Krishna's entourage is Krishna himself. What is that entourage?
The
யாரு? என்ன உதாரணம்?
the cowherd boys, Gopala,
Is Gopals in where?
Vrindavan,
Which Vrindavan?
Goluka,
Gokula.
Gokula, sorry.
Gokula. Because why Gokula, Mataji?
My God.
What is the difference Goloka and Gokula?
Gokula is where he was a child playing together with his.
Even in Goloka also word. There's no difference. But there's one difference, Goloka and Gokula. What is that?
Is that? Don't know, Prabhu.
Okay.
ராஜாராணி எங்க இருக்க மாட்டாங்க பிரபு?
Huh?
இங்க ராஜாராணி இருக்க மாட்டாங்களா?
Hey, அது எப்படி?
சின்ன பாலிய பருவத்துல இருப்பாருங்க.
கோகுலா வந்து
Gokula is
கோஸ் இருக்கும். பாவு இருக்கும். கோகுலா.
What is it? Gokula?
Gokula is
சுரபி.
No. Nandari Mataji?
Gokula is Vrindavan in material world.
Then?
Goloka is Vrindavan in spiritual world.
Very good. Exactly. Haribol. Gokula means the Vrindavan in material world. Gokulam. The place there, up there is Goloka. We must remember that. Goloka means it's a spiritual world, the way Krishna resides. Gokula is the Krishna, when he brought that Goloka into this material world, is called Gokula. That's in Vrindavan, India. Okay, Mataji? Saki Mataji? Chanalakshmi Mataji? Got it? Gandhi Mataji? All right.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay.
Got it, huh? Goloka and Gokula, must remember. So, Gokula means he brought the entourage from Goloka to Gokula. Okay? From Goloka, bring to material world the entourage. Okay? And what is this next example? Another example of his entourage. What is the next example? Anyone? Vaishnava Prabhu?
The Nitya Siddhas, Prabhu.
No. No, there's another example, Goloka and Gokula. But there's another example we studied yesterday. There's no difference.
கோவர்தன் ராதா குணலாமா பிரபு?
Huh? Govardhan? No, not Govardhan. Govardhan is Gokula. Yesterday we studied second example. His family members. I give you a hint, family members. These people think that Krishna is part of them.
The Vrishnis.
Vrishnis. Where the Vrishnis are there? Where? Who's that Vrishnis?
He descended into the dynasty of Vrishnis, Prabhu.
Hey, where's Vrishni? Now you... No, Vrishni is not Vrindavan, Prabhu.
Dwarka பிரபு.
Dwaraka. Vrishni is in Dwaraka. So yesterday we studied even the Dwaraka. You know, I gave an example like Konar people. You know, Yadav. They call Yadava.
Yeah.
Yadav.
Yeah.
So these are the people are also. So now we understand from here. So we relate back. So that means Krishna's name is also Krishna. Krishna's fame is also Krishna. Krishna's entourage is also Krishna. That means the Gopis, Gopals, and even the Dwarakavasis. Yadav. Right? Krishna and everything related with Krishna, which gives stimulation of love of Krishna, are also Krishna. That means Krishna and everything that related to Krishna, like what? Maybe I'm going to temple. The temple is related to Krishna. The kitchen related to Krishna. All right. So even that, even the toilet in the temple, everything in the temple is related to the presiding deity of Krishna. Or like in Ipo we call Parama Karuna, Nitai Goranga, and Radha Govinda. So they are the presiding. Everything within that property belongs to Krishna. So what we should do now? When we go to the temple, we enter into the temple. First, we see the beauty of Krishna. Then when we start to do a little service, you are cleaning the place of Krishna. When you go to the kitchen, when you start to cook, you are cooking using Krishna's utensil to cook for him. All right? So that's the thing. So what we understand, is it okay we can create a quarrel in the kitchen? You know, in the kitchen, we should not talk nonsense. You know, but in the kitchen, there'll be a lot of grandmother story while cutting vegetable, while this thing. So they say, no, I'm not cooking, I'm only cutting vegetable. You know? So we should always remember that. If you think that a lot of grandmother story to talk in the kitchen, ask the one cut vegetable out of the kitchen. Let them stay out of the kitchen. Kitchen is sacred. When you think your yatra is not becoming a devotee, always there's problem. What is the core? Kitchen. Because the cook is not having a proper consciousness. The cook is not cooking in ecstatic feeling. So we must always remember that. So the kitchen is the most important part in the temple. The place where the consciousness of a person coming into the temple can be changed by purifying their tongue. Sometimes when you see the food get burnt, it shows the cook is not paying attention. It is very inauspicious. When the milk get burnt, very inauspicious. So must be very meditation. It's better if any Matajis that cook in the temple, when you go to the kitchen, please put a face mask. Please put a face mask. No, you do not need to talk. And sometimes when you talk, of course, even the saliva will also shoot out. There's no way. You'll be spraying. So it's not good. So we must remember that anything related to Krishna, all right? Anything related to Krishna which gives stimulation to love of Krishna are all Krishna. So kitchen can give you stimulation. I'm cooking for Krishna. The drums, the mridanga, the kartal that you use to go to sing, it's also from Krishna. So we must be very, very, very careful and we should be paying attention. All right? But for our understanding, okay? But for our understanding, these items may be considered separately. All right? But because of our understanding, we see everything seems to be separated. The kitchen is one side, the mridanga is one side, the kartal is one side, but all these separate. But we should understand anything that gives stimulation, it is to be understood as Krishna himself. Atas, tasya, swarupasya, syat alambanataivachi, uddipanatvam evasyat, bhusha nadestu kevalam. The word kevalam in Tamil means inauspicious, ugly, dirty. But you must understand, kevalam in English, in Sanskrit means auspicious. Harir nama iva kevalam. Kalau nasti eva nasti gadir anyataha. Harinama iva kevalam. Chanting the holy name brings auspiciousness. All right? So don't take this wrongly. Because sometimes when a new devotee comes and you start to chant the mantra, kevalama. So we must be able to tell them. Kevalam means auspicious. All right? Okay. Esham alambanatvam cha tatodipanatapicha. What is that? Krishna is a reservoir of all transcendental pleasure. So Krishna that keeps all the reservoir of transcendental pleasure. Therefore, the impetus means what? The ecstatic, to love. Impetus to love of Krishna, although seemingly different, all right? Seemingly, it looks like different, but not actually distinct from Krishna himself. See, if I go to the kitchen when I start to cook for Krishna, looks like the kitchen looks different. In our mundane ideas, mundane eyes, we see, hey, there's a different kitchen. All right, the mridanga, all looks different. But actually, they are Krishna himself. In technical Sanskrit term, the qualities of Krishna's name and fame are accepted both as reservoir and the stimulation of love for Krishna. Please underline this statement. Qualities, this in Sanskrit technical term, the quality and the fame, the quality of the Lord, the name, the quality of the name and the fame. Right? See, I just, okay, like these two. The quality, Krishna's name and fame are accepted both as reservoir of stimulation love for Krishna. So when you chant Hare Krishna, when you start to chant very attentively, that attentiveness stimulates, because there's no difference between Krishna and his name. Before that, is it okay we just overshoot a bit of time? Okay. By 11 possible, huh? All right. So we just take a short break now. We just take a 2 minutes break, then we resume. Okay. I'm audible, huh? Can you hear me, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Tatra Vaya. Vaya Kaumara Paugunda Kaishoram iti tatrida. Kaumaram Panchamadantam Paugandam Dashamavadi Ashodashacha Kaishoram Yauvanam Syat Tata Param. So Kaishora means Krishna's like teenager, right? Now let's look at this. Krishna's age is considered in 3 periods. Okay, we're going to discuss Krishna's period age considered in 3 periods. First, his appearance day to the end of his 5th year is called Kaumara. That means from the day he was born until he was 5 years old, the thing we call Kaumara. In Tamil, we call Kumaran. You know, Kumari. Kumari means the small young child, Kaumara. So from his 5th year until his 5 years old is Kaumara. Then beginning from the 6th year up to the end of 10th year, right? So up to the 6th year up to the 10th year, okay, he called Pauganda. That means from the when he was 6 years old until he was 10-year-old, he called Pauganda. And from the 11th to the end of 15th year is called Kaishora. Okay, teenage. The teenage Kaishora is until age of 15. 11 years old until 15 is called Kaishora. After that, in the beginning of the 16th year, Krishna is called as Yauvana or the youth. And this continues with no change because he remained Yauvana until the last. He didn't get old. Okay, now we understand. So first is until he's 5 years old, is called Kaumara. Until 11-year-old, we call Paugada. 11 to 15, we call Kaishora. And 16 years onwards is known as Yauvana or youth. Auchitya Tatra Kaumaram Vaktavyam Vatsale Rase Paugandam Preyasi Tat Keladi Yogata. As far as Krishna's transcendental pastimes is concerned, there is most executed during the Kaumara. Right? So, as far as we know, all the pastimes mostly executed during Kaumara, during Pauganda and Kaishora period. So, his affectionate pastime with his parents are executed during his Kaumara age until he's 5. You know, that Damodara Leela and all these things happen when he was in Kaumara age until 5th. His friendship with the cowherd boys exhibited during the Pauganda. That means until he is 11 years old. Okay. Then, Shaishtyam, Ujvala, Evasya, Kaishorasya, Tatapyada, Praya Sarva, Raushat, Rasauchityat, Atrodahriyate Kramat. And his friendship with the gopis is exhibited during his Kaishora. So, what we can understand from this? His friendship with the gopis, right? It is all happened and all finished by the end of 15th year. So that means his Rasa Leela and all this period happened from his age of 11 to 15. When he was 11-year old until 15 years old, all right, there's a time that his relation with gopis, you know, he's all the thing with gopis, and Krishna's Vrindavan pastime finished at the age of 15 years. After 15, what he did? He went to Mathura and Dwaraka. All right. So when the other pastimes are performed, okay, when he was 15, he gone to Dwaraka. Okay, that's when he started to kill the Kamsa and all the pastime starts. And he lived there for 100 years. So total around 115 years was Krishna's lifetime. So Srila Rupa Goswami gives us a vivid description of Krishna as the reservoir of all pleasure. In his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, here are some part of the description. Okay. So now Prabhupada is mentioning, he gives a very vivid, means clear description. All right. How is the reservoir of all pleasure? Adyam, Madhyam, Tatashesham, Kaishoram, Trivadam Bhavet. Krishna, Kaishora's age may be divided into 3 parts. Okay. That means the Kaishora or 11 to 15 is also divided into 3 parts. Tatra Adyam. Varnasyojvalata. Kapi netrante charunachave. Romavali prakatata Kaishore pratame sati. In the beginning of his Kaishora age, that means on the 11th year, the luster of his body became so bright that becomes impetus for ecstatic love. When he was 11 years old, the bodily luster, he became like so handsome, so distinct, so bright that he created an impetus for ecstatic love or stimulation for ecstatic love. Similarly, there are reddish border around his eyes. There are reddish borders around his eyes. That means around his eyes, there's a reddish border and a growth of soft hair on his body. When he turned into Kaishora, right? When he turned, like in other words, come to age. come to age, he start to see the reddish line around his eyes and all the soft hair start to appear in his body. It's actually very attractive because my son is now 12 years old. At 14, I start to notice the hair start growing on his hand and on his legs. And it's very nice. I mean, it looks like from a childhood, now he's turning into a teenage. He's coming to age, his voice has broken, you know. Now I'm just waiting for the mustache and beard to grow. That haven't grown yet. But I start to see some tiny hair. It's so attractive. Even in a mundane life, when we see it's so attractive, imagine if you have a young boy, you start to see when they turn 12, 13, 14, you try to notice their hair in their hand and the leg. It's very, very attractive actually. Right now, Tata Harati Shitima Kopi Angana Mahindra Manishriyam Pravishati Drishor Ante Kantir Manak Eva Lohini Saki Tanu Ruhang Rajihi Sukshma Darasya Virohate Spurati Shushama Navyedanim Tanavana Malina. So in description of this early stage of Kaishora age, Kundalata, one of the residents of Vrindavan, Kundalata Devi, said to a friend, okay, when she's describing the early stage, Kaishora. Early stage means when he was 11 years old. So there's a person called Kundalata, Gopi, all right, who says, told her friend, he said, my dear friend, I have just seen an extraordinary beauty appearing in the person Krishna. Right? His blackish bodily hue appears just like an Indra Neela jewel. Indra Neela. Right? It looks like Indra Neela. Indra Neela. Neela means blue. All right? It looks like his bodily hue. That means the body color looks like Indra Neela jewel. Blackish, bluish. There are reddish signs on his eyes. Small soft hair are coming out of his body. The appearance of these symptoms are made him extraordinarily beautiful. Please meditate on this statement. Right? You can even take a snapshot of this, or if you look at the book, at what page?
$210, Prabhu.
210, yes. 210, the second last paragraph. All right. So what you can do here, you can read this and start to meditate when you chant. So these little things can create stimulation. When you chant Hare Krishna, you just chant, you just meditate on his blackish body, look like Indra Neela jewel. He got a reddish sign on his eyes, small soft hair, small little hair. If you got a son, if you have noticed that, maybe you can also relate to that and meditate. And his appearance symptoms to be extraordinarily beauty. This is one of that meditation you can use while chanting. Vaijayanti. Vaijayanti means what? Is also a flower. Vaijayanti, Shikandadi, Nata Pravara Veshata, Vangsi Madhurima, Vastra Shobha, Chatra Parichadaha. Yatasri Dasame, quoting from 10 Canto 21, chapter 21, verse 5. Brahapidam Nata. Brahapidam Nata. When you see a T at the dot at the bottom, we pronounce it Nata. So whenever you see a dot, okay, whenever you see a dot, okay, T dot at the bottom or D, there's a dot at the bottom. How are you going to pronounce this? Roll your tongue, put on your phalanx and say ta, da, ta, da, like that. Okay. So Koti, Kotishvara, Koti, Kodi, T. All right, like that. So now how are you going to pronounce this is like this. Brahapidam nata, ta. Brahapidam, see there's a D, there's a Brahapidam natavara vapuhu karnayo karnikaram karnikaram vibrat vashaha kanaka kapisham vaijayantim cha malam randran venur adara sudaya purayan gopa vrindayir vrindaranyam swapada ramanam pravishat Gita Kirtihi. So it says here, in this connection, in the 10th Canto 21st verse 5, Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadev Goswami tells Parikshit King, King Parikshit, my dear king, I shall try to describe how the minds of the gopis become absorbed in thought of Krishna. Please pay attention to this word. Okay. What is that? Number one, what he says, Parikshit, Sukadev Goswami is informing King Parikshit. On what? He said, I shall try to describe on how the mind of gopis become absorbed in thought of Krishna. Do you think it's a secret? Yes or not? We're going to learn here, when we pay attention to this, we have to adapt to it. So how gopis become absorbed in thought of Krishna? Because we also want to do that. We also want to be absorbed in Krishna. All right? So let's see how they absorbed. Okay, please pay close attention to this statement. The gopis would meditate on Krishna's what? Dressing himself just like a dancing actor. First, gopis meditate on Krishna's dressing himself. Just look at Krishna, how he dressed himself. All right? First, he put on his veshti, dhoti, and he put a belt on it. All right? Then one by one ornament he start to put on it. All right. So one by one and everything. So just like a dancing actor. Okay, when you see a dancer, how they dress themselves. Like that, he start to dress himself. Meditate on it. After that, what happened? Entering into the forest of Vrindavan. Then after he got dressed so nicely, and imagine the way he walked. In Vrindavan, every walk is a dance. Every speech is a song. And imagine Krishna is walking, just like it. Just imagine. Entering the forest of Vrindavan. And while doing that, what happened? Marking the ground with his footprints. Imagine he's walking on a soft ground. Every step that he takes, he keeps a footprint. Okay? Then they meditate on Krishna's having a helmet. Then they meditate Krishna as having a helmet or turban with a peacock feather. Then wearing earrings on his ears. He's wearing earrings, kundalam. Then yellow gold colored garment. That means he's wearing yellow gold garment, veshti, dhoti, covered with what? Jewel and pearls. That means around his vase. There's a pearl and jewel. All right. Then they also meditate on Krishna's blowing on his flute. Just Krishna's playing on his flute. How he play? You don't simply stand like a log. Beep, 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 know that. The way he play when he's this dance gracefully. And all the cowherd boys singing the glories of the Lord. So now what we see, that is the description of meditation which gopis used to perform. So my dear Prabhus and mothers, can we do this meditation? Can we meditate in this way? Can or not? If cannot, try. Try. All right, please snapshot of this. Keep it. After snapshot, please write it down. Because when you write it down, that's when you will remember. Karatatra nakagranam danur andolita bruvo radhanam ranjanam raga churnair iti adi cheshtitam. Sometimes the gopis would think about his soft nails. His nails are so soft. His moving eyebrows, his eyes, with the expression, right? Try to meditate. When you are young, when you are a teenager, when you are youth, right? When you fall in love with your wife or your husband or whatever, how they looked at you, how the eyebrow moved. Because of course we are having a pathetic reflection. But just try to imagine according to your own experience. Because to conceive Krishna's glancing, it is beyond our wildest imagination. Therefore, meditate on how you used to look, or you used to get a stare. In that kind of side look glance, the eyebrows, like that. Try to meditate on that. All right? Moving his eyebrows, his teeth, which are chattechu, colored from chewing pan. Right? His teeth, which were chattechu colored from chewing pan. Paku vettalai. When you chew a pan, what will happen? It looks like a kind of, the teeth will look like a kind of saffron color. You take about sannyasi, wear the saffron, the kind of orange color. The mouth looks something like that. That means there's a bit tension in there. All right? So that's how they meditate. Yata quoting. Navang danur iva tanur na tat aga dvishor bru yugam. Sharalir ivas shanita nakara rajir agre kara. Virajati sharirini ruchiradanta lekaruna. Nakesaki samikshanat yuvatir ashya vitrasyati. One description was given by the gopis to a friend. Now all the description by the gopis. What she said? My dear friend, just see how the enemy of Aga has assumed the wonderful features. His eyebrows just like how the bow of Cupid. That means Krishna's eyebrow is like a bow. The bow and arrow? The bow. And what bow? The bow of Cupid. And they are moving just like as though they were dancing. That means the eyebrows are moving just as though they are dancing. The tip of his nails are so soft. The tip of the nails are so soft as if it were dried bamboo leaf. His teeth are reddish. His teeth, because of what? Chewing pan. Vettala paku. The teeth turn. And so it appears that he has assumed a feature of anger. Under the circumstances, where is the chance of the young girl not to be attracted to such beautiful features and not to be afraid of becoming victim of such beauty? The gopis are telling, look at him. The eyebrows look like a bow, but like a bow. And what bow? The bow of Cupid. There's another narration. The eyes like a bow. The eyebrow is like a bow. And the eyes like the arrow. When Krishna sees the gopis, it is just like a bow and arrow of the Cupid released and pierce into the core of their heart. Now they are telling, look at that bow. And looks like, and whenever he moves his eyes, the eyebrow, it looks like dancing. The fingernails is just look like a dried bamboo leaves. Maybe next time I should pay attention to dry bamboo leaf. How? I can't recall it. I can't perceive it. His teeth look like reddish. Are reddish because of pan. And looks like anger. Now they are saying, now, under this thing, how this young girl cannot be attracted to the beauty of him? First get attracted. Then later become the victim. How's the victim? We have read it before. The gopis have that kind of amorous thought in their mind. How nice if I can hug Krishna. How nice if I can kiss Krishna. In their imagination. Imagination no one can control. Anybody can imagine someone. Fantasize. In a mundane language, we call fantasizing. But when he start to when he start to play on his flute, Murari, even we all become the victim of losing our chastity. We read that, we discussed that last week. What is the chastity they lose? While they are feeding the child, they drop the child. While they're feeding with the husband, they drop the husband. While they're cooking, they put everything and they simply run to Krishna. They give up their chastity. So now here the gopis are telling, when you look at all these beautiful features, how can you not be attracted? And how not to be afraid of becoming the victim of that beauty? You become victimized. That means you have the thought, that means the gopis have the thought of Krishna other than the husband, because the chaste woman only think about her husband and she don't have anyone else in her mind. And now they are telling how not to become the victim through that such beauty. Tan mohanata. Tan mohanata. Yata, quoting from Tan Mohanata. Kartum mugda swayam achatunana shamante biyogam na vyadatum kvachit api jane vaktram apyut sahante Drishvastatte nava madurima smeratam madavartaha sva pranebhyastrayam udarsajan nadya tayonjalinam. Krishna's attractive feature is also described by Vrinda, right? The gopis after whom Vrindavan was named. Who is Vrinda? Vrinda is a gopi. That is why the place called Vrindavan. And who is the another feature of Vrinda? Anyone?
The devotees, Prabhu.
No.
Tulsi
Who is
Maharani.
Tulsi Maharani, yes. Vrinda Devi. Vrindaye Tulsi Deviaye. Right? Priyaye Kesavaye cha. Vrinda Devi is also known as Tulsi Devi. So the Krishna's attractive feature is also described by Vrinda. Okay? She told Krishna, my dear Madhava, your newly invented smile. What she say? Newly invented smile. So for gopis, every day they see Krishna, they feel so revived. They feel like seeing him for a first time. And she say, Kartum mugda swayam achatunana kashmanta biyogam. Your newly invented smile has so captivated the hearts of the gopis. They so captivated them. They are simply unable. Na vyadatum. Na means no. They are still unable. Vyadatum. What? Express themselves. Kvachit. So that means they cannot express. They become like dumbfounded. When they see that, they just don't know what to do. They don't know whether to go and hug him or whether to remain chaste. You know, just like sometimes when you see, they don't know. Because when you're stunned, what happened when you're stunned? When suddenly when you hear that something happened, you become stunned. That means what? You are in the position of not expressing yourself. When you hear some bad news, then after you come out of it, then you start to express by howling and crying. When you hear some good news, then yay, like that. So now, when they see the newly invented smile of the Madhava, they became so captivated, they just they're unable to express themselves. As such, they have become bewildered and will not talk with others. All becomes the they can't even talk to each other. They become so captivated. Then what happened? All these gopis have become so affected. They become so affected that it is as if they had offered 3 sprinkles of water upon their lives. They become so affected that it is as if they had offered 3 sprinkles of water upon their life. I don't understand what does that mean. I hope Krishna reveals this to us soon in the future. What does it mean by 3 sprinkle of water? Okay, in other words, they...
In Bhagavatam also it is the same, Prabhu.
What does it mean, Prabhu?
It is a custom, if you die, you got to sprinkle water to see whether they wake up, Prabhu.
Oh, that means to wake a person who are fainted, is it?
And if he still doesn't wake up, he's gone case.
Okay. That means when you're reviving a fainted person, you just put sprinkle water.
Yeah.
Okay.
When Uddhava went to Vrindavan, also the same things they described there, Prabhu.
I see. Oh, thanks, Prabhu.
No,
Wow.
I'm just imagining, Prabhu, because there is in the Bhagavatam also is the same thing.
It can be true, Prabhu, because you are saying that's inspiring you to say this.
Yeah.
Yes, offer 3 sprinkle of water upon their lives. That means they become like stunned like a dead body. They
Yeah.
became like kaku. In Malay, we call kaku, right? Menjadi kaku, just frozen, all become frozen. In other words, they had given up all their hope for living condition. They given up all hope for their living condition. They give up all their hope for living condition. That means whatever condition, that means they are married, they got children and all this, they give up all hope. Now, according to the Indian system, oh yeah, it's mentioned here, Prabhu. Yes, you're right. When a person is dead, there is a sprinkling of water on the body. The statement of Vrinda shows that the gopis were so enchanted. The gopis become so enchanted by the beauty of Krishna that because they could not express their mind, they all decided to commit suicide. Oh boy, Krishna. They all decided to commit suicide. Extreme ecstasy. Do you all want to experience that? Please chant your rounds very attentively and let's go back home, back to Godhead very quickly. This material world, it is not exciting at all. Name, fame, money, all these things, it's not exciting. Look at this excitement. When you see Krishna, when he start to look at you with the eyebrow like a bow, the eyes like the arrow. And what arrow, bow and arrow? Cupid's bow and arrow. When he just looked at you, you become stunned until you don't know what to do. You feel like, I want to die in this situation. Haribom. Hatta madhyamam. Urudva yasya. Bhavoscha kapi shri urasastata. Murtir madhuri madhyam cha kaishore sati madhyame. When Krishna arrived at the age of 13 to 14 years, his 2 arms and chest assumed unspeakable beauty. When he became 13 to 14, his chest and all this spoke unspeakable beauty. His whole form became simply enchanting. All right? Yata Sprihati Kari Shunda Dandanayoru Yukma Garuda Mani Kavati Sakhyam Ichati Urascha Bhuja Yugam Api Dish Satya Galavarga Nindam Abhinava Tarunimna Prakame Keshavasya. When Krishna attained age of 13, his 2 thighs were challenging the trunk of elephant. All right, his thighs were challenging the trunk of elephant. That means the thing looks like elephant trunk. His rising chest was trying to become the peace talk with the door of jewel. That means his rising chest, the chest is raised chest, tried to become a piece with the doors of jewel. That means he's wearing all the jewelry on his chest. Looks like they're becoming the door of peace. And his two arms were minimizing the value of the bolts found on the door. His two arms minimizing the value of the bolt found on door. The bolt found on the door. I'm not sure. I don't understand what does it mean. I hope Krishna give me the understanding that we can understand these things.
I also don't understand this part.
Yeah.
The bolts are so small, Prabhu.
Maybe nowadays, but this is written 500 years ago.
Yeah, but these very old houses in Chennai and
Yeah,
Kerala.
but all the old houses we can see around 300, 200 years old houses, Prabhu.
Yeah, bro.
And this is written by Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami is the former minister. Maybe
Yeah.
he's referring to that the bolts in the palace.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, we don't know how the palace bolt and joint looks like, right?
Yeah, true, Prabhu. Very true.
So who can describe the wonderful beauty of these features of Krishna? Mukam smita vilasadyam vibramottarale drishav Jagan mohanam geetam ityadir iha madhuri mohana geetam. The special beauty of Krishna's body was his smiling. All right. Mukam face, smita vilashadyam vibramottarale drishav. His restless eyes, his world enchanting songs. These are the special features of this age. Jagan mohanam, mohana geetam. That means all the song. Mohana geetam, that means it's a beautiful Gita. Gita means song. And full of madhuri, beauty. Yata, ananga naya, chaturi, parichayottarange drishav, mukambujam, udanchita, smita, vilasha ramyadaram, achanchala, kulangana, vrata, vidambi sangitakam, haris taruni mankure, spurati, madhuri kapyabut. There's a statement in the connection that Krishna, on arriving to this age, manifested such beautifully bodily features, and his restless eyes became the playthings of the Cupid. Krishna will be restless. Like this age, boys will be very restless, right? Looking at the girls. Wow, look at the girl. Wow, like their eyes are restless. Look here, look there, look here. Now, and he smiled. He smiled very mildly. That resembled to the newly grown lotus flower. How does that mean? Newly grown lotus flower. The enchanting vibration of his songs, right? Right, his songs became the great impediment to the young girls. Achanla kulangana vrata vidambani sangitakam haricharna. Okay. Madhuri kapi but. So great impediment. The enchanting vibration of his songs became great impediment, become a big stumbling block to the young girls. What stumbling block? What challenges the young girls goes? Because they are supposed to remain chaste and faithful to their husband. They are trying to hold their chastity. But Krishna's eyes, restless eyes, his mild smile, and the vibration of his songs became a big stumbling block. That means the gopis couldn't maintain their chastity. They get so disturbed. Vaidagdi Sara Vistara Kunjakeli Mahotsavaha Arambo Rasa Leeladir Iha Chestadi Shaustavam. At this age, Krishna enjoyed the Rasa Leela. At what age? 14. Exhibiting his power of joking with the cowherd girls. So at such a young boy, he had Rasa Leela dance. And he joked with the cowherd girls, enjoying their company in the bushes of the gardens by the bank of Yamuna. Please meditate on all these things. And you start to feel your chanting goes to the next level. Krishna enjoyed Rasa Leela where? And he showed all his power of joking. You know, girls like to be joked, right? Right? Sometimes when you see a young couple, the boys will be joking and the girls will be like smiling and being very shy. He was joking with cowherd girls, gopis. And he enjoyed their company. In the bushes of the garden, by the bank of Yamuna. Yata, quoting. Yata means quoting. Vyakta lakta padai kvachit. Parilutat pinchavatang sai kvachit. Talper vichutta kanchibihi kvachit. Asau vyakirna kunjod kara. Prodhan mandala banda. Tandava gata laksh molat saikata. Govindasya vilasa vrindam adhikam vrindatavi shangshati. In this connection of the following statement, throughout the whole tract of land known as Vrindavan, there were footprints of Krishna and the gopis. Where? In the whole tract of land of Vrindavan. In the whole tract land of Vrindavan. Everywhere. All right? There is a there's a track of gopis. And in some places, peacock feathers was strewn about. All the peacock feathers looks scattered, strewn. In some places, there were nice bedding in the bushes. There's a nice bedding at the bushes of the Vrindavan garden. And in some place, there were piles of dust due to the group dancing of Govinda and the gopis. Right? Right? Banda, Tandava. Tandava means dancing. Govinda was Vrindam. Right? There's a group of dancing of Govinda and the gopis. There's a pile of dust. These are some of the features which are due to the different pastime invented by Krishna in the place called as Vrindavan. Tan Mohanata Yata. Quoting from Tan Mohanata. Viduran Maraknim Hirdaya. Ravi Kante Prakattayan. Udasyan Dharmendum Vidadat Abito Raga Patalam. Katam Ha Nastranam Saki Mukulayan Boda Kumadam. Tarasvi Krishna Babre Madhurima Bararko Bhyutayate. There's a following statement by one gopi. This another gopi is mentioning. Describing Krishna's attractive feature during that age. What she say? My dear friend, just see how all of a sudden, the sky of Krishna, there is a powerful sun rising. Powerful rising sun. How this rising sun minimizing the rays of our chastity moon? One gopi telling, look here. In the sky of Krishna, there rise the sun. And this sunrise, minimizing the rays of our chastity. When the moon rises, when the sun rises, the moon will lose its luster. Yes or not? At night, you see the moon is so bright. But when the sun is rising from this horizon, and sometimes early in the morning, you can also see the moon. When you see the moon will become very insignificant. So they're asking, when this sun rises, the chastity, we are chaste girls. So this sun minimizing all the rays of the chastity looks like gone. Our attraction to Krishna is so intense, so strong, it is drying up the lotus flower of our discrimination. That means it's minimizing, drying up. So intense. When you see the lotus flower and the thing dry up, how it looks, it's wet, it's still, what they call? Fresh inside, outside start drying. So this attraction to Krishna is so intense. So it's drying up the lotus flower. Discrimination. What is the discrimination? Well, look here, I am married. I am married to my husband. I've got a child. I am a daughter-in-law. When I am married to that family, one thing I must ensure, I will uphold the good name of my birth house. One day, the father and the mother-in-law, the husband should not say, what kind of parents you had, brought you up so lousily. You got a lousy parents. And now அப்பா வளர்த்திருக்கானுங்க. And now அம்மா வளர்த்திருக்கா. இது கூட தெரியலையா? So they must uphold the good name of the birthplace. So there's lot of discrimination, upholding the good name of the birthplace, upholding being chaste to the husband, be proper to the child, and everything. So now this is drying up the discrimination. I cannot further discriminate. I'm so attracted to this boy. I'm forgetting my dharma. And we are losing our senses. They become so fickle-minded. I'm losing my senses. Why fickle-minded? Because couldn't decide whether we shall continue as chaste woman or become victimized by the beauty of Krishna. I don't know what to do. Should I just not look at that and be chaste with my husband? Uphold the good name of my birthplace? Or should I just give this up and become the victim of this boy? My dear friend, I think we have lost all the hope in life. The gopi is telling we have lost all hope. That means what? We have lost our hope of being a chaste person. Ata shesham. Purvatopi adikot kisharam. Badam angani bibrati. Trivali vyaktir ityadyam. Kaishore charama sati. In the Kaishora age, beginning from the 11th year and coming up to the end of 15th year, Krishna's arms, legs, and thighs became marked with 3 division lines. Right? His legs, arms, and thighs got 3 lines. What is that? Yata. Marakata. Marakada, not Marakata. Marakada. Maragadam. In Tamil, we call Maragadam. Marakata Gire. Ganda Grava. Prabhahara. Vakshasham. Shatamaka. Mani. Stambaramba. Paramati. Bhuja Dvayam. Tanu. Taranija. Vichichaya. Vidambi. Balitrayam. Madanakadali. Sadishtorum. Smaramya Ru Rantakam. At that time, at what time? At the time of 15, end of 15. What happened? Krishna's chest challenged by the heel of Marakata jewel. All right, Krishna's chest challenged by Maragada jewel. Maragada means it's like a emerald. Maragada means emerald. Maragadam. Right? So he's challenged by this Maragada jewel. That means he's having a Maragadam. He's having a jade, kind of jade or emerald. So his chest like challenged by this jewel. His arms challenge pillar of Indranila jewel. The 3 line of his waist challenged by the waves of river Yamuna. And his thighs challenge the beautiful bananas. What is thighs? Banana tree, right? The thighs. One gopi said, with all these exquisite features of the body, Krishna is too extraordinarily beautiful. And therefore, I am always thinking of him to protect me. Because he is the killer of all demons. So why they say, protect me? Because the killer of all demons? Because he wants them to be protected from the killer or the demons of the lust arising in their heart. The idea expressed in this statement is that the gopis were comparing their attraction for Krishna to an attack of a demon. See, this is the one. All right? They're comparing the attraction of Krishna. That means they're so attracted to Krishna, they're comparing with the attack like a demon. So they said, Krishna is the killer of all demons. And I hope he can protect me from that such attraction. And to counteract the attraction for the beauty of Krishna, they were also turning to Krishna hopefully. Hey, enough lah. I cannot tahan already, please. Come. Because he's the killer of all kinds of demons. In other words, they are all perplexed. Perplexed means what? They couldn't make a decision. They are indecisive. One side they want, one side they don't want, and they don't know what to do. Perplexed. Because on one hand, they are attracted to the beauty of Krishna, and the other hand, they need Krishna to drive away the demon of such attraction. Hari Bol. So beautiful. So wonderful. Now the time is 11:14. What do you think, dear Prabhus and mothers? Wow, it's going more and more detailed, more and more in depth. Okay, I believe that you all have got work to do. Sadly, we have to stop here. So please mark your book. Where is it? This Kaishwara age can be translated as adolescent. Okay. Last paragraph, page 212. Last paragraph, page 212. The Kaishwara can be translated. Oh, no, sorry, not that. The Kaishwara can be translated into adolescence. 11th year, the express. Oh, okay. First paragraph on page 213. The Kaishwara age can be translated into adolescence. The end of period of the Gopi said, Krishna, the killer of attraction of Cupid, and such it disturbs the patience of all newly married girls. Wow. If we're going to describe, if we're going to speak on this, I don't think so we can stop today. We can go on talking about it maybe until night. This is going to be beautiful narration. What happened? The period the Gopi said, right? It disturbed the patience of all newly married girls. It's going to be beautiful narration. Very unfortunately, we have to stop here, right? Because we got so much of other activities. Like I have got a lot of mundane activities to perform. Sadly, we stop here. So we open to any question, quick question, or any feedback. Do you feel good talking about this, studying about this? Were you all mesmerized or there? Are you there?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yeah, it's so nice to go really in depth about his beauty. Now we see him now I would see him in a very different way.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
Imagine when we go to 10th canto, you will faint. In 10th canto. And of course, in Geet Govind, it's even more amazing. So, any sharing, any takeaway? Because there's no class tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I've got this nonsense medical appointment. I have to go. So, no class tomorrow. We resume on Thursday. So, before we end, is there anything that you want to say? At least one person. At least we have two-way communication is nice.
I want to ask, let's say I'm not able to like imagine like whatever we discuss about the beauty of Krishna. Can we see that beauty through our spiritual master?
Yes, of course. But when you see the beauty of Krishna, say like for instance, if you can't perceive that idea, you know, you got a photos of Krishna, you know, you got a portrait of Krishna, right? You got a portrait of Krishna, and you can stare at Krishna from the lotus feet up to his turban, you know, everything, and try to meditate on that. And the spiritual master is the one that initiate you into this system. Of course, you can see the beauty of Krishna through the spiritual master. Yes.
Okay.
But please don't imagine your spiritual master wearing anklet, turban, and all this.
No,
Because-
just
Because no, I'm sharing, I'm not simply saying as a joke, but this is happened.
oh,
Prabhu, I can't imagine my spiritual master wearing a yellow garment. What? What do you mean by that? No, I've tried to imagine myself. No, don't do that.
mm,
And imagine your spiritual master open the floodgate of prema.
mm.
How fortunate! How fortunate! Do you think that we are all? I mean, not me. Do you think how lucky we are that we got a spiritual master? We are under the Srila Prabhupada's movement. How lucky we are that we didn't fall upon, or say like we have done some good deeds. We didn't end up in Sri Vaishnava. We didn't end up in Kumara Sampradaya. We didn't end up in Nimbarka's, what they call Rudra Sampradaya. You know, how fortunate that we are in Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. And how much we should be grateful. Prabhupada translated all these into English. That you as a Chinese, I as a Malaysian, Indian, who don't read and write Tamil, could really study and go deep in this kind of ecstatic feeling. We should be very grateful to our spiritual master. Prabhupada have created this, and his disciples went all over the world to every town and village. When you see like my spiritual master, Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, so disabled. Still he traveled the world and preach. My Siksha Guru, Srila Bhakti Vigna Vinasa Narsingha Maharaj, he never had any opulent. He never stayed in one place in more than 3 days. Keep moving. And he never eat grains. He only eat Ekadasi Prasad. He traveled to the place where nobody wants to go. Like Thailand, China, Taiwan. Who wants to go there? Such a challenging place. And yet he went there, he learned Mandarin. Right? My another Siksha Guru who taught me on, inspired me on book distribution, Janananda Goswami Maharaj. He never had any peaceful. Whenever I see him, he's always in anxiety. Yes or not, Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu? Have you seen your spiritual master in calm, composed, peaceful? Vaishnava Prabhu? I think it's not there. He's always in anxiety. Whenever he comes, you can see the urgency in his face. He's now preaching in France, Paris, where the ISKCON center almost to fail. They almost to give up that center. He went there to save that center, sacrificing his life at this old age. So like that, when we really see, we are very, very fortunate. By their causeless mercy here, we should understand we are studying this not because we are stumbling upon this or by chance. There's no chance in spiritual life. This is pure mercy. So we should be always very, very grateful to our spiritual master and grateful to Srila Prabhupada. Without his causeless mercy, he sacrificed his life, his old age. Even like that day, I had I had this, influenza. The doctor said it looks like influenza, look like COVID, but not both. Then what is this? I don't know. Some kind of severe infection in your lungs and all this. Just a small thing make me so sick. And I had my family to take care. We take care of each other. But this spiritual master, they are taking a big risk in life. You say they are sick in Taiwan, China, or Paris. Who do they have? They somehow or other depending on Krishna. Like my spiritual master was amazing. He had a terrible fever, when he came to Malaysia. Suddenly he had some complication. Twist on his intestine. Extremely painful. They colic. Extremely painful. And yet, everybody got so worried. And yet, he came back. So much of strength and vitality. and to inspire the disciples. So that is how that spiritual master in ISKCON is all about. And we should be very lucky. And please do me a favor. Please go out and spread the news. Let everyone to be as fortunate as what we are. All right? So thank you so much. Wow, such a beautiful, meditate on this, think about it. When you chant, think about all the narration, how the gopis, imagine the young girls so attracted, can't give up, they are perplexed. One side the husband, one side Krishna. Imagine the feeling, how the anxiety they go through. You know, they're talking among their girlfriends. How, he's so attractive, you know. How about you? Oh, me too. Just think about that, meditate and chant your japa today. Wish you all the best in your sadhan bhakti. So as we go on, it's going to be more and more intense. Now you understand? Do you have some kind of feeling? Do you feel good, my dear Prabhus and mothers? Yes or not?
I'm
Yes,
feeling
Prabhu.
wonderful.
Very
Yes, Prabhu, yes.
This is a little minute trace of prema. A little minute trace of prema giving us this kind of bliss. Imagine if we're going to experience full-blown prema. What's going to happen to you? Just a trace, a shadow of prema. Not even a shadow of the shadow of the shadow. A tiny little dot of prema we are experiencing and giving us so much of fantastic feeling. Imagine if you go into full-blown prema. What's going to happen? We pray to Krishna to give us such a boon that we go into full-blown prema. By understanding this, that's when I start to reflect. The devotees will be in their writing, they said, I don't want heaven. I don't want Brahmaloka. I don't want Kailash. I don't even want Vaikuntha. I don't even want Goloka Vrindavan. I don't even want that place called Goloka Vrindavan. Let me remain born here in this material world again and again and again and again. And study this thing, all the confidential pastimes. And always remain in Vipralamba. Vipralamba means separation. Separation make the heart fonder. Now, this gone, you'll start to understand that. Anyway, I'm taking so much of time. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu, Gandhi Mataji, Charanlakshmi Mataji, Sakhi Mataji, Tachaini Mataji, Saras Mataji, Suddha Sindhu Mataji, Nandadevi Mataji, and Vraja Prema. I'm so grateful to each and every one of you for giving me this opportunity to discuss this wonderful topic. So tomorrow there's no class. We meet again on Thursday morning. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha paditanam pavinibhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna. Have a nice day. Gauranga.